Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more EarthBound. Last time, we went around the world doing lots of tangenti sidey things because it was just kind of a good slow moment to go do those sorts of things. And we also learned that the tend to have quite possibly the strongest economy in the history of the world, where one indivisible unit of their currency is worth 1,780 US dollars. I guess I'd have it no other way that if any race of people was going to have the strongest currency, it's the guys who are actually green. Not only that, but I've been kind of listening to their music for a little bit because I like it so much and it's so different from the rest of the soundtrack, and it kind of sounds like something you'd hear in an art museum, like a modern art museum, where it sounds oh so sophisticated, more so than it should be, and... Sorry, I just had to get the last bit of tangenting from out between my bones, because this time, we are all done tangenting, and we are going to go down the hole. Down this very whimsical, pixie sticky looking rope. It does, it looks like a pixie stick. Oh, that's cool. Look at how they all copy me. They can't help it. They latch on for a second and then come over. I'm secretly 5 years old. Not so secretly. Good evening. I am a 10 million year old rock, but the rocks around here don't talk too much. The rock that talks the most is deep down in the labyrinth a ways ahead, in the lost underworld. Don't forget to talk to the rock. It's important. We've heard a bit about the lost underworld being a location where the Tendas say that dinosaurs are real, and that it is apparently at the end of this place. So that's where we're heading. Because I gotta meet dinosaurs. I gotta make that old man back in Forsyth proud, and I gotta tell him stories about my days in the war against Gygus. He'll be so proud of me having war stories for him and not the other way around. Or not, because he just needs someone to talk to and it's his entire purpose for being alive. First new enemy, the uncontrollable sphere. Quite possibly the coolest looking palette swap we have seen yet. I know the Starman Super's got it beat in recognizability, but sheesh, this thing is cool looking. Definitely beats the Smiling Sphere. Oh, you have a Psychic Shield. Thankfully not a Deflection Shield, so I don't have to worry about that. Has Fire Alpha, it has Fire Beta, it can laugh maniacally, and just like the Uncontrollable Sphere, as you would expect, it wouldn't be one of its kin if it didn't dodge your attacks. Anytime you want to explode, there you go. It explodes when you defeat it, so you probably want to take it out last in a group. Thankfully, it doesn't heal its entire party by full HP. Don't have to worry about that. The underground talking rock seems to want to talk a lot more than I do. Open the present and get a super bomb. I'm gonna tell you right away, the presents around here are probably the most consistently worth it out of anything we've seen. This place is a dual layer maze where you can kind of see into other areas sometimes, and you gotta figure out how everything fits together and decide how you're gonna go about getting to the stuff that you want. Definitely go after all the presents that you see. I'm gonna try to get all of them myself. And now, for the greatest of all mnemonic devices, Foppies are pink, and Fobbies are orange. Fobbies, I think, they're just, it's a fun enemy name to say. It's more fun to say than Foppy. It just rolls off the tongue, just Fobby. They sound so doofy, and they look doofy too, and as you would guess, they're the designated experience point punk of this area where they don't really accomplish much in their battles, and they're just here for you to beat in large groups and get lots of experience points off of. Unfortunately for that guy, he had no friends, and I can't think of a more sad existence than being that type of enemy and having no friends. Well, okay, I think I can think of a more sad existence, and it's just being this guy in general for how painful he looks. The Conducting Spirit has Thunder Alpha, Thunder Beta, Flash Alpha, Flash Beta, Thunder Gamma. It's a little bit complicated. This is one of the most dangerous enemies out there because Flash Beta has a 1 in 8 chance of insta-killing somebody in the party. That is, you only have one Night Pendant. It's probably equipped on Ness or Jeff, based on when you got it. So that's 3 chances of getting a 1 in 8 chance potentially every turn, and there can be multiples of them on the field. Get level 55 on Pooh, and realize the power of Thunder Omega! Ooh, Pooh's got him beat in the way of Thunder right there. That is a 4-hit version of Thunder, definitely the most powerful version of them all. IQ Capsule, gonna go on Pooh, no question asked there. We're gonna go up, and oh, I like avoiding fights with these guys whenever possible just because of their unavoidable damage from exploding. The uncontrollable sphere has yet another trait about it that I have not talked about yet. Because they love caking these things on toward the end of the journey, just to assure that you are level 99 before the end of your challenge run, they have a 1 in 128 chance of dropping the broken antenna. You can't do an onion ring routine with it, but you can repair it into Jeff's ultimate weapon, the Gaia Beam. Should you go for this item? I gave you tips for going after the Sword of Kings, and I was showing you how I was doing that, and I definitely wanted the Sword of Kings. So what about the broken antenna? Stop leveling up when I'm expecting. No, you should not go for the broken antenna. No personal vendetta over. That's not a bad. Okay, whatever. I need to stop getting so angry at literally everything. Great use of the first strike. About as good, you're as exceptional as I would have expected you to be. I was saying that the Gaia Beam, you should not go for it. Why? Why is it not worth as much as Pooh's ultimate weapon? There's the fact that Pooh can only equip the Sword of Kings and I guess some yo-yos as well, so it has more value on him. It requires 65 IQ to repair. Jeff's only got 54. Even if you've been as diligent as one can be using every IQ capsule... Ooh, I am never gonna get through this sentence. The Diadem of Kings is equipable to Pooh, but he's already carrying too much stuff. Jeff, take the Tendocrat. I'm sure lots of kids at school told you that you smelled all the time, so you must be used to it. The Diadem of Kings is a crown that goes upon Pooh's head, or it's a handkerchief, according to the Japanese version, where I think it even has the same name, so make up your mind. It gives him 20 more defense. It's the only item that can go in his other slot. Hello, it's your dad, hiding in a box, ready to jump out at you. No, I ain't taking a break. Okay, that was kind of good. I was thinking, I knew that we were overdue for one, and I thought it was going to be on a Fobby or something, but that's fine. All right, Jeff's ultimate weapon. Not worth it, because even in playthroughs where I've been extremely diligent trying to get his ultimate weapon, where I used every single IQ capsule in the game on him, he still didn't have 64 IQ by this point. You're probably going to finish the game before you have 64 IQ. I've done it many times. And as if that's not enough, you just saw the biggest reason why it's not worth it right there in front of you. The heavy bazooka is stronger than the Gaia Beam. You have no use for any regular weapon on Jeff any longer, not even his ultimate. It's just fighting so many exploding enemies that have force damage on you that you can't avoid, and then fighting them just that many times to get that ultimate weapon, it's just not worth it. Sounds about as good of an idea as having your friend who hates this game co-host an episode of this Let's Play with you or something. Alright. The hyper-spinning robo. You fire a beam. You do not fire a beam that causes nighttime stuffiness, however. It can make one unable to use PSI, and it also casts up Shield Beta. This is yet another enemy that has a 1 in 128 item. It's able to drop the Mediotite. We've seen plenty of those already. It's probably not going to do much to you. It's probably the most boring enemy out of the bunch here. And don't lie, Fobbies are just amusing for the sake of what they are. Conducting Spirits got more to say about these painful existences we call enemies. They have... alright. So, I said that the Conducting Menaces back in Dalam had a 1 in 128 chance of dropping the Brain Food Lunch. I was wrong. It's actually these guys. They're just so similar in how they look, how they're named, everything. I think it's a pretty honest mistake. And not only that, but something that I've always thought about those guys is that, well, maybe I'll save it for next time we get into a battle with them. Hello, experience! Yep, level 66, level 56. Vitality up by 2. Whoa, look at you, Pooh! Ow, you smelling bad. Which is why we're looking at you. I was doing a thing, but it just sounds awkward when I point it out. I deserve that. Oh, right, Conducting Spirit, I had something to say about you. All right, their pelvises look like Super Nintendo controllers. It's kind of funny and hard to unsee, and like, I remember thinking that when I was a kid, and ever since then, whenever I see him, I just think that all the time. Doesn't matter where my mind is, my mind's always just like, oh yeah, there's the guy that had the Super Nintendo controllers for a pair of hips. It looks almost exaggeratedly so like it, where you have the two crosses there, and it's just the right shape and everything. Okay, you didn't really care for that much now, did you? Okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Always at the level ups when I don't want them, okay. Not like I'd really be that excited to get the broken antenna. I've had horrible luck with the broken antenna. I've done a couple of playthroughs where I chose to max everyone out, get everybody as well equipped as they could possibly be. And without fail, I don't know what it is, but the broken antenna always takes me the longest. I always count how many tries it takes, and it's always around the 200 mark. I've never done it under odds or even remotely close to normal odds. As it is, I think Paula's just got so much PP to go around, she might as well just fire Gamma them. The Fobbies are enemies that you've probably never seen what they actually do in battle, so hopefully one of them will survive. If not, we'll definitely have a stall battle against one. 251. We did Celebi damage to you. I think that was probably like Swampert damage on that one right there. That was 265. Or no, maybe that would be more like Wormpole damage. Never mind. Not like anyone actually cares. Nah, okay, they all died. 22,000 experience points. Really doing nothing. Hello, you're all in your lonesome. You look like you'd make a fine trophy on my wall. Oh, I was going to say you'd make a good guinea pig. Okay, we won't back attack him. We'll just get into a fight. These guys have a dazzling battle background. Imagine being an artist putting in that much work and making a pretty background, and it gets used on an enemy like this. And, there's worse enemies to be used on. Fobbies are one of the most memorables. Yeah, they have PSI Magnet Alpha and they have Brain Shock Alpha. They're not able to use these moves until 4 turns into battle when they're able to concentrate. And unless you have the Pixie's Bracelet or the Diadem of Kings, which are the only items I think you'd realistically have equipped at this point that affect hypnosis resistance, you can't possibly be inflicted with Brain Shock. They essentially exist to take your PP and then throw it away a la dying. Inexplicably, they have the HP sucker in their moveset as well. It rarely works, but they're able to steal your HP and take it for themselves, even though they're unlikely to survive one attack from you. They're the most bizarre, nonsensical. It sounds. No, I'm not even going to go into what that sounds like. Nonsensical enemy that I think there is, and I would have them no other way. PSI Caramel! I can't imagine that's common, with PP recovery items being everywhere now. I'm just so used to talking about that. This better not affect... Hang on, this better not be affected by Pooh's Dolomies holier-than-thou tastes. Hooray, the Dolomies don't suck at eating everything. I'll take my insta-win and get another PSI. Okay. You want to keep giving me those, I'll keep feeding them right into Pooh's gullet. Okay, 24. I'm 1 PP above average after that kind of less than stellar showing from the last one. Get a luck capsule. Without a doubt, that should go on Jeff, as he is the one who is using items that only have a chance of working the most often out of everyone. What about you, Rock? Thanks for talking to me. Aww. Pooh grew to 57 and still no broken antenna. Not like it's any surprise to me whatsoever. I've never had good luck with that thing. Life at beta on Ness, and it's not even close to enough to heal this guy. You getting to be a big boy. 528 max HP, ooh. Just so satisfying. 500 HP feels so much bigger than 400 HP. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way, but I've personally always felt like 5 feels like such a bigger number than 4. Maybe it's the whole rounding up thing, and I've always felt like 7 feels like such a bigger number than 6. When you have 60 something of something, it doesn't feel nearly as big as saying you have 70 of it, or that you're 70% done. Maybe that's because of school, because of, you know, C's being a lot nicer than D's, but I don't know. I just always feel that way. Rock candy, let's give that to Pooh. Not gonna use the exploit. Vitality up by 1. Gladly take it. And just because we should probably heal you up as well. It's okay, Pooh. I understand your incredibly delicate palate. You need to be healed with superpowers and not with normal food like everyone else. You know, you are royalty and all. I understand your wants and needs. For as much as his tastes annoy me whenever I use an item on him thinking it'll be fine and then it never is, I can respect a man who has taste exclusively for the brain food lunch. At least he knows that item is good, and I can respect a man who has taste only for a food item that good. I deliberated way longer than anyone should on who to give that bottle of DX water to before realizing, oh right, Pooh has 40 PP to recover right now, so I might as well just use it on him so he can expend it. I'm trying to be very diligent about moving around because there's no present box in here that I would skip. They're all great, all worth it. I can't think of a single one that's a whoopee cushion chest at the end of a dead end or anything. No, they're all great. Next grew to 67 and realized the power of Flash Omega. That yet again raises the chances of insta-kill. It has a 3 in 8 chance of pulling that off. I think crying is the thing that it reduces, but it's not like you really even care what it reduces because the insta-kill is the coup de grace, as we'll call it, of that. That's not gonna heal him all the way. No, it did? Wait, what? I used beta on him and he had like 200 HP. Is that just a really good damage range or healing range on what it would have been? Not sure. Moving on up, another present box. Couple life noodles. I'm actually surprised we haven't had anyone die yet. Usually you have something crazy happen where, I don't know, an enemy will get a smash attack on you and then the uncontrollable sphere will go boom, or worse yet, you'll just have somebody instantly die from flash because those conducting spirits are everywhere. This is the Earth's belly button. I guess wherever, like, the first pebble that, like, started forming the collective that is Earth, that would be the belly button by definition. Luxury jerky, another weird line break, just like the luxury jerky. Saying that name out loud is really funny. A gourmet version of jerky that is considered a delicacy. It is created by a skillful artisan who has been making jerky for over 60 years. Jerky fans consider this the caviar of all jerkies. I understand they don't dry gourmet jerky on a laundry line. When eaten, you recover about 300 HP, the luxury jerky. Every item name in the game begins with, you know, every non-key item at least. Anything that you could find in a present or anything that you could eat or anything like that always begins with a consonant. And they did it this way because of the whole A and N thing, so they wouldn't have to separately program every single item box to have that proper. There's no A or N equivalent in Japanese that changes depending on the first letter of the word. Because, for instance, you would never open up a present box and find the ATM card, you just start the game with it. The eraser, you got the eraser because there's only one of them. This one, though, you got a luxury jerky. They did it this way to not only make things easier for themselves, but in the process of doing it, they like to put a lot of adjectives at the beginning of item names, and I think it adds to the memorability of how many items in this game people remember, because if it was just called, like, I don't know, the jerky, I would never remember it, but the luxury jerky? Of course you remember that. Of course it's memorable. Of course it just works out really nicely and solves a problem while also making the game's writing better at the same time. According to the localization director and head writer, Marcus Lindblom, he has said in interviews that they did it this way to try to describe these items like a child was describing them, adding to the theming and feel of EarthBound very much being about childhood. Pooh's level is now 58. I'm telling you about it because I think it is one of the most brilliant design decisions I have ever seen somebody involved in a game design process do, and I think it's a great example of how, in some cases, yeah, a translation or localization can have superior aspects to the original Japanese version, or whatever language the work was originally published in. It's a brilliant way of turning a perceived weakness into a strength. I'm just gonna tank through this. I'm tired of resetting the room, and it's also time to show you that things can never be that easy. This place of all places had a sanctuary in it. That'll teach you to leave alone the socially awkward kid just because you think they're weird. That got us something really nice. If you go beyond the sanctuary boss, you get something even nicer. The rabbit's foot. Here, Paula, your turn to smell. I don't have to give it to Pooh because it's all in his namesake. Contrary to its lore, the rabbit's foot actually does not raise luck on a character, something I did not know until about 30 seconds ago. I went to go double check exactly what it raises on EarthBound, and I was completely wrong. I thought it raised luck, and it doesn't. It raises a character's speed by 40 points, making them go first in battle almost always, yet it lowers the defense over what you would get on a pendant. I don't know if I want to equip this to much of anyone. It'd be nice to have Ness going a little bit earlier in battle, I guess, and he has a lot of defense already. Maybe I will give that to Ness. I haven't been treating Ness very nicely in the way of equipment lately. Oh, the Knight Pendant. Oh gosh, do I want to actually lose that? Maybe we'll try it out for one battle. I don't see myself using this thing at all. In a speedrun, personally, when I used to run this game, what I would do is give it to Jeff so that his multi-bottle rockets would be going off first every turn. Speaking of multi-bottle rockets that you want going off first, you finally got here. This is the 7th Your Sanctuary location, but it's mine now. Take it from me, if you dare. The Electro Spectre also doesn't get the boss music! This guy is basically fighting Jeff. Yeah, it's exactly like fighting Jeff, actually. Paula, do you have an attacking item in here? Let's use the Monkey's Love. I haven't used that thing nearly enough, and it's kind of fun. If you want to end this battle in one turn, use the multi-bottle rocket. He starts the battle with a PSI shield up. Hope you brought your neutralizer. It's shield beta that he has. Nah, I'm just gonna bash. You got that Sword of Kings for a reason. Use the monkey level, so the monkey came along and pinned the enemy down with his monkey body. It actually solidified it. It was useful. Get rid of the effects of PSI on you, and how about you do an attack so we can see it? Or how about you don't, because you weren't able to move? He has all sorts of different items that are normally only usable by Jeff. Maybe he's the one who supplied HP suckers to all the fobbies in the area. Seems to be messing with the indigenous wildlife. And, basically, let's see one of those. Unless you solidify again. Are you gonna get to do anything? He's able to move. Man, Jeff, when I said this thing was like fighting you, I didn't mean to insult you. Use freeze beta again. I probably could stand to nuke him a little bit harder. Oh, again? I reiterate, for a 25% chance, that sure is happening 100% of the time. Freeze Omega. I'm holding back. I'm just kind of interested to see if I can win this fight without him actually getting to do anything and without having to use a multi-bottle rocket. Use the neutralizer. He can destroy his own shield, making him very, threatening. And he's done. That was pathetic. His other abilities are the Hungry HP Sucker and the Shield Killer. His only actual direct attacking move is Thunder Beta, which is labeled as an electric shock attack. Doesn't really do anything else. If it wanted to mimic Jeff better, then it should have carried some multi-bottle rockets, I'm just saying. Ness grows to 68. That rocks. PP up by 13. Paula gets 64, my favorite number for my favorite girl. And got the power of Fire Omega. Stronger version of Fire. All it is higher damage. No additional effects there. Jeff gets 62. And Pooh gets 59. That went a lot better than I thought it would. I'm Ness. It's been a long road getting here. Soon I'll be What will happen to us? What's happening? My thoughts are being written out on the wall. Or are they? Ness saw a vision of his father holding him. Ness's soundstone recorded the melody of Lumine Hall.